Hey there, happy day. Pajama Grandma, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. In case you haven't met yet, go ahead and put hashtag pajama in the comments below. Then I know it's the first time you are hearing my voice or seeing my face. Today I want to talk about, for today's Supersize Super Short, failure, failing, and failing better, fail better. Some of the best advice someone ever gave me was to fail better. Excuse me. Have a drink of coffee so that you can actually talk. Today I found myself getting really frustrated and really irritated because my cell phone wasn't working. And whenever these new age phones don't work, I have a Samsung. I have to go find the box, find the little bitty key tool that goes in it, push it into the tiny, tiny top button with my magnifying glass because of course it's super tiny, size of a pinprick, which is why you need this special tool, and then reseat my SIM card. Sometimes when I drop my phone or something, the SIM card will shift slightly and my phone just this morning wouldn't operate. Super irritating. One of the biggest things that irritates me the most is when technology doesn't work because we get, and it's intentional, we're so dependent on our technology. When it doesn't work, for some of us, it's very, very frustrating. And we have a low threshold or a low tolerance for frustration. But failure, because that was sort of an epic failure, reminded me of the awesome advice that I got, and I recently got it. It's not that I hadn't known it and I hadn't been taking action and trying and doing things. It's just I'd never thought about failure in such a positive light. Failure means you're doing something. Failure means you're taking action. Failure means you're trying. And guess what? That puts you ahead of at least 90% of the population, because the vast majority of the population is just going through the motions of their life and they're not doing anything. They're just going with the flow of what's happening around them. And that works for them. And that's awesome. If they're happy, great, good for them. But if you're listening to this, that probably doesn't work for you. You want to be doing your own thing, building your own business, supersizing your own business. And that doesn't happen by accident. That does not happen without failing sometimes. That doesn't happen without you taking massive action or some action toward what it is that you want. And whenever we're acting, whenever we're doing things, whenever we're moving toward what we want, obstacles are going to pop up. Things are going to happen, and we're going to not reach the mark, not reach our target. We're going to fail sometimes. Sometimes we're going to F stuff up and we're going to fail. And that's perfectly okay. As long as we learn something from it, we brush ourselves off, we get up and we do something else. We take another action until we figure it out and until we get the result that we want. So today I figured it out. I got my phone working, obviously, or I wouldn't be making this recording, or I wouldn't be making this live. We're live. I forget it's not just a recording. I'm live. And so if I make a mistake, some people would consider that an epic failure. And they would be like, oh my God, I can never do a video, a live video or a live anything, because if I make a mistake, the world will end, the sky will fall, life will suck forever. Okay, well, if you believe that, guess what? You'll never make one. You'll never do anything. You'll never take action. You'll never supersize your business. And I can't help you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. He who wins is he or she who helps him or herself. If you want to win, you have to try to do things. If you want to succeed at anything, nobody is born a success or a failure. Nobody is born anything. Everything we become is because we have to try things. And the vast majority of the time, we're going to fail. And that's perfectly okay, because that's how we learn. We learn by failing. Do we know anyone that got up and walked their first time, their first step, and didn't fall down? I don't think that there's a human being on the planet or even an animal that didn't stumble the first time they tried to walk or move after they were being born. And do we just quit when we fall down the first 500 times, 5,000 times? What if you fell down 1,000,000 times? You would still get up and figure out how to walk, right? Yes, the answer is yes. So why would supersizing our businesses, why would we expect running a business to be any different? We're going to have obstacles. We're going to have to figure stuff out. That's why we succeed. If everybody could do it, everybody would do it, but everybody can't do it. And it's not that they can't, everybody won't do it. Most people won't ever even try. And if they try, they'll try a couple of times and then they'll have a little hiccup or someone will tell them no and they'll be like, I'm out of here. I'm going back to my 9 to 5 or I'm going back to my job where I feel safe and secure and everything works out perfectly for me. Well, how many of you have had a job and that didn't necessarily work out perfectly for you? Yep, me too. Had several jobs that didn't work out perfectly for me. Some of them I learned a ton from. And that's an example of something I needed to go do and I needed to go try over and over and over again until I learned that that wasn't the right path for me. And the path for me was to have my own businesses and to supersize those businesses. So that's it for today. Go out and fail at something. Go out and just totally royally F something up and learn something from it. But at least take some action toward what you want. And that is how we achieve our goals, our big dreams. That's how we change the world. See you tomorrow. Bye.